In indie games development, Metroid-likes have quickly defined itself as an extremely popular formula with plenty of versatility to the experiences it can offer gamers. Yoku's Island Express is a delightful title that sees the combination of this classic type of exploration with unique platform mechanics that utilize pinball-based physics to get around its world. This merger of designs manages to deliver a fresh and compelling take on an old formula that remains delightful from start to finish. With plenty of secrets to be found and pinball arenas to master, Yoku's Island has plenty to keep you engaged when going for that platinum dream.
By Gorilla.
Development began on Yoku's Island Express as far back as 2013 with the establishment of Villa Gorilla in Stockholm, Sweden. Founded by Jens Andersson and Matthias Snigg, both were gaming veterans who previously had worked together at Starbreeze Studios, making games like The Darkness. Upon creation of this new studio, both founders immediately started discussing ideas, with the concept of something that could be completed within a year, and so the game about a ball became the focus. Over time this grew in scope, and ultimately became coined as an open-world pinball adventure. Pinball games have been few and far between, and there are even fewer that could be quantified as a pinball adventure, so the decision of creating an open-world version was too fun and unique an idea to pass up on. In order to bring this vision to life though, Villa Gorilla decided it would need to build its own engine in order to remove any compromises or easy choices that would occur by using popular engines like Unity or Unreal. This meant drastically increasing the overall development time of the game, leading to over 5 years before it was completed for release in 2018. In the home stretch, publisher Team 17 stepped in order to facilitate the advertisement for the game, as well as act as a means to ensure multi-platform delivery for release. Villa Gorilla's uncompromising vision and creative ideas has led to the release of Yoku's Island Express, a game unlike anything else that lives up to the concept of an open-world pinball adventure. As the game's title suggests, you play as Yoku, the most adorable little dung beetle you have ever seen. Yoku is tasked with being the port master for Mokumama Island, a job that will see the little guy traversing through all sorts of hazards to deliver mail across this location. Unfortunately, upon his arrival, the godlike creature Mokuma has been attacked and poisoned by a mysterious enemy, and so Yoku is tasked with the important mission of fighting the 3 chiefs of the island in order to cure this illness before it's too late. With pinball being the main focus, of course Yoku also travels with a ball that he delightfully pushes around when on flat surfaces, or happily gets pulled by when it's bouncing around. As you explore, more details are discovered about the island that adds context for this world, as well as gives you a chance to encounter a colourful collection of side characters and quest givers. Each character just feels jolly to meet, such as a retiring posterdactyl or aquatic catfish, and it keeps the story always feeling upbeat and fun to adventure through. This clear objective, combined with the wonderfully whimsical charm of the island's inhabitants, creates an excellent reason to explore every inch of this world. Something that stands out immediately when looking at Yoku's Island Express is its vibrant and colourful backgrounds. Every location is full to the brim with details and visually stunning imagery, from the lush jungles of Mokumana Island to its snowy peaks. Yoku's Island constantly switches up its landscape to keep the journey exciting and surprising, with each new area discovered. The adventure is amplified with the wonderful soundtrack by Jesse Harlan that perfectly complements the game's environments and storytelling. It can be chipper and festive one moment, and then suddenly dark and mysterious, in order to really sell the vibe and atmosphere of each region. Having something engaging to listen to and beautiful to look at ensures the game always has your attention as you take part in its pinball-themed attractions. Playing the game is where Yoku's Island Express really sets itself apart with its combination of pinball-based physics and Metroid-like systems of gaining new abilities to access other locations. Bakunama Island is essentially a giant elaborate pinball table full of bumpers and lanes that get Yoku around via the ball he is attached to. Flippers are controlled by using left and right triggers to activate the respective sides, with multiple colours ones being set off by using either. The controls feel immediately familiar to anyone who has ever played a pinball game before, and likewise it follows the same logic in order to move past an arena by travelling through lanes or by hitting bumpers. Knocking Yoku around mimics the pinball experience exactly, with excellent audio design and feedback for each bump, as the gameplay becomes more rewarding for using skillful timing to land perfect hits. For each dedicated pinball area, there are also extra challenges in the form of scarabs that are not required to be activated in order to move on, and often more difficult to do, but in return they offer up a nice collection of rewards when completed in the form of fruit. Fruit is this game's currency that are used to unlock bumpers to access new and often secret areas that pretty much always grant you something worthwhile like a wallet or ball upgrade. The fruit also acts as your health source, with it depleting when missing the flippers, although Yoku Island is never punishing, with no way to actually fail or lose the game. The pinball experience is simply fantastic, but developer Villa Gorilla simply didn't stop there. Yoku also combines a variety of different abilities that can be used to navigate and interact with the island. Very early on, you are granted a party horn as a way to interact with NPCs or break through obstacles, while at the same time being adorably festive. These cute little upgrades apply to each subsequent one, with my favourite being the ability to grapple onto flowers to swing around and fly through the air. Since Yoku's Island Express is open world, each ability can be claimed in whatever order you want, as you tackle the main quests or take on requests from creatures around Makumana. In the endgame, it has the rewarding loop of being able to return to old areas in order to access all kinds of goodies you couldn't before. This combined with the platforming and pinball sections works extremely well together, although Yoku can feel a bit slow when having to move through already completed sections to access a new area. Thankfully, there is a quick travel system that alleviates most of this frustration. Plus, it's exciting to simply use it to shoot Yoku around the map. On top of all of this, there are also a couple boss-like encounters that amplify the conclusion of each main path, and typically require the most precise controls outside of the scarab challenges. They're really enjoyable to take part in and change up the gameplay, but they are also pretty much just pinball focused. Throughout the game, the platforming and pinball abilities are rarely used in tandem, and I feel the boss encounters would have felt more impactful if it involved combining them together in order to take them down. Regardless, there are still plenty of secret areas and side missions to complete, giving ample opportunity to use everything when going for that platinum trophy. When it comes to these Metroid games, going for completion and finding all the secrets is a big part of what makes them fun, and Yoku is no different. For the most part, you'll likely get most trophies by simply exploring while completing the main story, and for almost everything else, the game makes it quite easy to complete. This is in a large part due to the fact that you can see any areas you haven't been to on the overworld map, as well as obtain items that reveal all the hidden collectibles you're yet to pick up. The main form this comes in is a small creatures called wickerlings that are hidden everywhere in the game, requiring you to find them by completing tasks like waking up characters, blowing up pathways, or simply interacting with objects. There are 80 in total, and all required to get the Wicker King trophy and hatch the God Egg. Other than fighting items, there are also side missions that are mostly extremely straightforward and tell you where to go. There are only a couple exceptions, the most notable being having to deliver all the mail and packages in order to get the Grand Postmaster badge. To deliver all packages, you need to change the colour of your ball to grant access to certain characters, something that is mimicked with some of the side quests as well. They're never really complicated though, such as having to change Yoku's ball using unlockable sprays to look like a beehive in order to get the package to the Queen Bee. The letterboxes are scattered throughout Makumana for each inhabitant, which you're likely going to encounter just by completing the main story. Unfortunately, on the map there are no icons to reveal the ones you don't have, so the only way to find them is to zoom in and see the little red mailboxes. But even then it can be difficult to spot them all. Likewise, the Perfectionist trophy that requires the activation of all scarabs can be extremely difficult to identify on the map, but if you make sure to complete each one as you progress through the game, you shouldn't have any problem. Regardless, the simplest option post-game is to go through the entire map once over to get and complete anything you haven't already. With the exception of sometimes struggling to see things on the map, Yoku's Island Express is a fun and straightforward platinum that is rewarding to complete. Yoku's Island Express is a wonderful little gem of a game that quickly has you wrapped up in its charm and beautiful world. Developer Villa Gorilla has managed to deliver an open world pinball game unlike really anything else, with Metroid style exploration tying perfectly with its pinball mechanics. Going for the platinum offers up an addictive reward of utilising your newly discovered abilities to complete previously inaccessible areas and present a fun and collection of optional content to do. For a game that took the gamble of making pinball the main focus of its gameplay, Yoku's Island Express presents something new and fresh, becoming one of the best pinball games I've ever experienced and an easy recommendation to platinum it.